everyone. How's everybody doing today? While I give you guys a second to join in with my delay in time here, I will just get things pulled up on my end. And all right, it looks like there's somebody there. Hello. If you are here, just comment and let me know that you're here. Just having a moment of wondering if this actually isn't working, which is precisely why I had to wait till my tech helper got home. One day I'll know how to do all these things on my own. Hi, Amber. How are you doing? We'll get there eventually with the being able to do this independently. Hi, Margaret. Okay, so this was kind of impromptu today, so it was a mad rush to whip up some samples, and I managed to do 4 because when I decided I was doing this, I couldn't decide on which DSP. Hi, Linda and Debbie. So I couldn't decide on which DSP to use because there were so many. 3 of them are retiring. 1 of them is brand new. I'm doing good. Well, I was having fun with these, and we had some errands to run. Hi, Janet. So Ryan just wasn't back in time to help me get the live going. I know how to go live on my own. It's getting all the phone and that set up. I've got to figure out a way to be able to open the device on my own and get the phone in there at the same time. But anyway, hi Ramona. We will get that sorted out. So I was just saying that I couldn't decide which DSP to do, so I decided to do a few samples. I know some of you have at least 1 or more of these DSP. Janet, I think you have both of these too. I don't know that anyone has this one, and this might be one of my favorites. So I'm going to show you guys this card. This is the one. Hey Rhonda, how are you? It has been an awfully long time since I've seen you. Thank you for joining in today. So this one is the one I'm going to make for you guys. I will show you these ones though, and I'll show you all of the DSP that is in this one. This one is very deeply discounted. I think it's down to $6, $6.10, which leaves me to wonder, Rhonda, what the price of this one is in the US. Probably don't want to know, but it must be like, it'll for sure be an even better price there. So this is a card I saw my friend Lena do today. She posted it. She lives in Canada. She posted a sample of this style of card today. So that was what made me decide that this was what I was going to do. Before I make the card though, I will show you how to do Cousin It, or the hat. Sorry, I'm not going to show you the full Cousin It, but I want to show you guys how I came up with a hat. I can't recall if I've shown you guys. Does anyone recall if I showed you the card with the hat after I updated it? I'll give you guys a second to answer that. And while you're answering that, I'll show you these samples, then I'll set them aside. I'll show you how to make the hat, and then I'll come back and make this card here for you guys. So I will show this one first actually. Hey Sandy. So with this one here, it actually has this front flap here that opens up to a pocket that holds your gift card. And then it opens up like this, so that you can stamp your greeting. The sound keeps cutting out for you. How about anybody else? Hopefully it's not for everybody. Not that I want it to be just you, Ramona, but I wonder if there's a connection issue on your end or if it's my end. You don't think you saw it with the hat. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the hat, and I'll show you how I made the hat because it was done by Punch Art. So this is the Fancy Fold DSP gift card holder. So you got the inside of your card, and then you have the front flap that holds your gift card. So you guys can let me know what you think of that Fancy Fold. And then I did one with the upcoming Zoo Crew. I haven't put embellishments on them yet though. I was so busy coming up with different patterns I didn't get to put gems of any kind on, but I will have to add some. And then I put one of the little critters on the inside of the gift card pocket. And then I haven't yet put a panel on the inside of this one yet. Those little guys are just so cute. I didn't want to hide them yet. So that's that one. And then this one here is with the Happy Forest Friends, I think it's called. So I did this little panel on the front. There's your inside panel, and then I haven't yet put anything on the inside of this one either, but you would put something on the inside to write on because you can't really see on the DSP. And then this one here is the, oh gosh, Sun Prince, I think it's called, DSP. So I did this one here with the silver thanks and a vellum mat behind it, and then just the simple white here. And then I tied in the silver with the scallop edge, and then that's the inside. So you could use up all kinds of DSP to make these cards. If you are a DSP hoarder like I am, this is an efficient way to use that DSP. So let me know if this is something that you guys will try. I'll put these aside and I'll show you the DSP from this pack while I'm making the card. Yeah, it is a fabulous idea, I think, for especially when you really love the DSP and you like both sides, like this one here. I think this is so pretty together. I love this pattern here. This is one that I will order more of that DSP. I checked before I went live and there was still DSP in each of those types. All right, so you guys saw the fire card, and then the next card I made was it. Before I did the succulent card. I did show you guys the succulent card the other day, but I don't think I had updated it yet. And then another demonstrator had sent me pictures of the its that she had made, and she had put the sunglasses and a hat on. So I decided, oh yeah, they actually are sunglasses. I should put that back in there. So that was what I did. And then I created this punch art hat. So I'm gonna try to get this so that it will, it might be ZZ Top. I don't know if you guys can see the texture in that hat. Let me know if you can see the slight bit of texture. My view is not actually showing. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here for 1 second and get my helper. He managed to fix this the other day for me. I'm not able to see what you guys see for some reason, so I can't tell if it is showing the texture of this hat. So we're just gonna update on our end here for a second, and then hopefully it will work so that I can actually see what you guys are seeing. There we go. Okay, so I'll hold this closer again and then try to angle it so that you guys can see. Nope, it's not. Come a little closer. Can you see there? Anyhow, the hat is textured. So it's not just, if you had the textured cardstock that we used to carry, or even the subtle folder, that would work. $4.80 in the US. Wow. And yours is $12. I think our DSP is something like $7.50 and $20 for, or even more for specialty now. But this hat is textured. Again, the subtle folder that we used to have would work if you didn't want to go to this measure that I'm going to show you today. But if you don't have that and you can still get the linen paper, I'm going to show you a trick on how to do that. So I have got some black cardstock here. I'll show you the punch art first. I have to assemble it, and then I'll show you how I textured it. So here is how I made this hat. First, this is the bottle, the vintage bottle punch, it's called. So I am going to punch the top of the bottle. So I need one of these. And then I'm going to punch the bottom of the jar punch. So I need to, I don't actually need that one. So I'll move this one aside. Now, I'm gonna bring this a little closer so you guys can see this. I've gotta slow myself down so that I can make sure you guys get the right view, which means I have to wait for it to show up on my end too. And then you tuck the bottom part back into the punch just so that you have about 1/8 of an inch there, like this, and then punch again. So these are the two pieces that I need to make the hat. Now I will take my snips, which I brought them in here. There they are. This is what happens when you get making so many things, you don't know where you set things back down. All right, so now I want to cut this pointy edge off. So I just went in here and rounded this up a little, like that. And then I'm right-handed, so I just flipped this over so that I could work with the other end from my right side. And then we have the rounded bottom of the hat. Now I need to snip off the top of the bottle. I don't need that. So I'll just go like this, and that's the top of the hat. So now we can get rid of this, and we have this here. And I need to glue that to the bottom of that bottle top. Does that make sense? So I'll do that. So in order to get that, I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow on the bottom. And then I'll just line this up on there. Oh, I put too much, it's squished out. There we go. And then I have just a tiny little corner showing there, so I'm just going to snip those off. So now we have a little hat. So those two punches will help you make a hat that is shaped like the one that Cousin It wears, at least in the images that I found online or in the little GIF that shows up if you type in, oh gosh, where was that? There's all kinds of GIFs that will pop up with a Cousin It in them. Now, I feel like I need to just adhesive erase that a little bit, if it will, before I do the next step, because I don't want that glue showing up once I do the next step. All right, so this is where I came up with putting the texture. It would be fine without the texture. In real life, you can see the texture a lot more. It's just really hard to catch that effect on camera. But I want to show you how I did that, just in case this is something that you wanted to do. I think I was telling some of you guys who were here the other day that I took apart some of my, I had done this technique where I put the linen paper on to some white paper and then ran it through with my embossing folder. And I ended up dropping a drop of re-inker on it, so I peeled it off. And in doing so, I thought I came up with a technique. So that's what led to this. This isn't entirely the technique, but it's what led to this. So how I gave this texture was I actually have to bring the stamp cut and emboss machine in because the silicone sheet is going to go on top. So I'm going to bring this in. I need this platform here, and I need, usually you would use the gray platform for thick folders, but when I did that, it actually just crushed my hat. It was too much. So what I'm going to do is put the hat down face up. I have this piece of linen paper that we carry, so you can kind of see the texture there and that. So this texture that's on this linen is what actually shows on the hat in real life. You just can't see it on camera. So I'm going to put the linen face down over the hat, and then I use 2 scraps of watercolor paper so you can see the hat impressed in there from before. And that is like my shim. Now I am going to put the, what's it called, silicone sheet on top, and then the next cutting pad. And this is going to require a little bit of, oh, I might need to put one more. I might actually have to put one sheet back in. We'll see. No, it's a little bit textured, so we'll see if I don't know if I'll be able to. Can you guys see that bit of texture when I tilt it that way towards the window? So now I have a slightly textured hat. It's taken on the texture of that linen there. In real life anyway. So that I just wanted to show you guys, it wasn't necessarily worthy of a whole entire live, but I wanted to show you guys how I got to the shape of that hat and then how I added the texture. So if you had a piece of linen, which is, we have a buy nothing page. If any of you have a piece of linen, I would happily take it off your hands. We have a buy nothing page, and there is actually someone in the neighborhood who is going to give me a piece of linen. I just haven't heard back from her. Hey Mireille, how are you? But I was thinking if I had an actual piece of linen that was not this paper linen that is kind of brittle, like this will eventually break down. The first one that I used, because I put the gray platform through with it, it just like shredded it. It was too much and it wrecked my hat. But I think a real piece of fabric might work. So that was what I want to try, is running a piece of fabric through my embossing folder to see if it will give a linen texture to the paper. So I'm going to experiment with that and I will let you guys know how it goes. This is the first hat. You can see it just shredded it and like just ripped up the linen. Anyhow, I will next show you guys how to make this fancy fold card. Who wants to see that? All right, so I'll bring these in again. This is the one I'm going to make for you guys. For anybody who's just hopping on, these were the other 3 samples, unembellished. They will eventually get embellished. But for now, we will just do this one here. If anyone wants to see those ones closer again afterwards, just let me know. So I'm going to show you guys. It's funny that I was showing you how to work with linen because this paper is lovely in linen. Sounds like I'm talking about my son Lennon, but this is the paper I'm using. I love this print, so I will use that one. I'm also using this one. This is another favorite of mine. So that's the back. Originally I was going to use this one with this here and then have this on the front, but I decided I preferred this. So it also has this pattern with this nice, I think that's mint macaron on the back. Then we have this one. I also love this with this one on the back. The hardest part when you're working with your DSP to do something is deciding which piece to hack into. I love this one as well. This one does coordinate with a stamp and punch, but I don't have the stamp and punch. So when I decided that I was using this paper, I was really hoping that I had something that was going to go with it. Since I didn't have the stamp, I might have the punch, but I honestly don't even think I do. I'm sure that's shocking. All right, so I'm putting this pack of paper away. And if you're in Canada, this paper is $6.10. And if you are in the US, Rhonda gave us the price. It is $4.80. So if you're a demonstrator in the US, you can order that through yourself or you can get a hold of your demonstrator. So I will need my Simply Scored. I was thinking after I got started on this one that I should have posted this as mystery stamping. I think this would have been a fun one to do mystery stamping with you guys. Okay, so I have pre-cut most of the elements. If you guys wish to share, please feel free to. We have now tallied up all of your names for the outstanding draws. And I have them associated to each of the cards that will be the prizes. And we're going to do those after. When Ryan wasn't home in time, we just didn't get into doing the draws, but he helped me tally them all up earlier. So I will have those done tonight for you guys. But if you'd like to share, please feel free to do so. And then just come back and comment that you did so that we know to the comment where you comment that you've shared is how I know you did. So that we need that in order to enter you in the draw. So this piece here is this background piece here. That is this piece here. So this is 4 by 12. And that is the one that I'm going to score. So we'll do this first. This one is it's kind of like your matted layer. So we have to score this one at 5 1/4 Don't press too hard if you're pressing on your DSP because you don't want to tear it. And 10.5. So those are the 2 score lines we need for that. And then I have this piece here which coordinates with my card base. I didn't do all of them this way. Some of them have a different color here than the base, but for this card here, they are the same color. So this is 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. And this one we are going to score at 4 1/4. So those are the 2 pieces that need scoring, and that's it. So now we can put the Simply Scored aside. Sorry, you can hear Ruby barking there. And we're going to, so this is the 5 1/4. Now I want to just show you guys something. If you were doing a DSP that has a direction to it, like this one, I scored this one at 5 1/2, or sorry, 5 1/4 and 10 1/2. You wouldn't want to do it the other way or your pattern will be upside down. So I wouldn't want to have scored it, you know, with it facing this way and the 5 1/4 and 10 1/2, or everything would end up this way. You want it to be upright, so you need to make sure that you start with the bottom of your paper. I'll bring my Simply Scored back in and show you. You would want to have the bottom of your paper to the 0 and score at 5 1/4 and 10 1/2 so that your inside faces the right direction. I hope that didn't confuse you guys. I just wanted to make sure to note that if you have a directional paper. This one doesn't really matter because it could go either way. There we go. So now I have this. I'm going to fold at the 5 1/4, and I want to make sure that these line up. Should get my bone folder out, but I also don't want to tear the DSP. And then this was the 10 1/2, so that is going to fold upwards. So now we have this folding mechanism for the front of the card. Hope that makes sense. And then this piece here was just scored at 4 1/4. I will use a bone folder for this. And then you can kind of see here how this is going to tuck into here, and then that will go like this. Thanks for sharing, Ramona. Have any of you guys made this style of card before? Let me know if you have. And let me know if you think you'll give it a try and if it will help you deplete that DSP stash. I can't say it will necessarily help me deplete mine. Ideally, maybe. I'm going to just move that over. So this one here is, let me just make sure. Nope, that's not the one that was the right size. It didn't look quite right when I pulled it in. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is what this will layer on. So we don't need the full folding card base because this takes place of that. So this is just like your 1/4 of a sheet of cardstock. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then this is going to layer on there. I'm so glad to hear that, Sandy and Janet. I'm glad you guys will try this. All right, so I'll show you all these elements. That's going to go in there. I have a piece of DSP from that same pack. This is 3 by 4. I have a vellum, oh gosh, what are these called? I do not remember. Stylish Shapes. How could I have forgotten that? I was having a brain fart there. This one here is the radiating stitches. It's going to go on the inside. I have pre-cut. You guys know that this is my beloved scallop edge die from the hand penned bundle. That one I'm going to miss. I have a sort of substitute, but it's not quite the same, and it doesn't do a 5 1/2 measurement. So this one is going to be my little scallop edge here. And then for the inside, I have a scallop contours, scallop rectangle with a white piece to go inside there. And then I also have this shape here, which is from the new timeless arrangements, and I will show you guys that one. I've showed you guys before, but maybe have some people here that haven't seen it. So this is the stamp set. I love this one. It's got some really nice greetings. I love this simple thank you. That's the one that I have used tonight. And then it has, oh, this is the radiating stitches. So those are the radiating stitches that I used here. These ones are an online exclusive. They will be coming back. I believe they're sold out at the moment, but they are supposed to come back. And this is the timeless arrangements. So you get these nice pieces that layer with your greetings, and then you get the different greeting sizes. And this is the one here that I'm going to use for my Night of Navy greeting. So there's not a lot of stamping to this one. Now, have my tray of supplies, and then I also used some white twine. So what I will do is put together the gut of this first, and then we'll embellish with this other, with the greeting layer. So what I'm going to do is we're gonna get my little cutter here. I want to cut this down to size. I usually cut them a little bigger than needed. And then I can trim it down to what I want it to be. Okay, so that is, I just cut it a little bit closer to the scallop edge. Now, should get about half of a scallop on each end. Hopefully I didn't hack too much off one end. Nope. And then I can trim down once I put it onto the DSP if it's still too wide. Rhonda, if you're still here, is this something you have tried? So I have some really thin tape. Don't mind me using this. You could use your Tombow, but sometimes it will seep through those little stitched lines. So when needed, I will pull out this really thin tape and use it. So I am putting this on here before I put the rest on. You'll have to send me a picture of the other one you've made, and maybe I'll have to give it a try. There we go. And then I can just reach behind here and snip off this little bit of excess. I always tell you guys I try to clean up the excess on the layers as I go so that it's not as hard to clean them up in the end if you're trying to, if you've already adhered things. So now I don't need to worry about trying to clean that up once I glue it down. All right, so now I'm going to, this is going to be the front, so I want to glue just the back. It's kind of sad to put glue all over this, but at least we get to see lots of it on the front. And all of that nice red, this Tombow is just about done. I might have to use my tear and tape. There we go, it's working now, but I might have to. It is nearly at the end of its life. So I'm just centering this and I'm holding this flap closed while I do that so that I can see what I'm doing. The advantages of using Tombow for that is if you need a little bit of wiggle room, you have it. So that's the inside. We'll fold this down. I don't want to tape this down just yet because I need to have my folding mechanism fit inside here first. So next what I'm going to do is tape the back of this folding mechanism down centered on this panel here. All right. I love this fold. And I love that it lets us see a lot of this DSP, of any DSP. DSP is something I have always, way back in my scrapbooking days, before I ever found Stampin' Up, that was what I loved buying at stores. That one feels a little crooked, but I think it'll do. Okay, so now that that is there, I am going to adhere this one. And if it's a little off center on the bottom, that's fine because we're not going to see the bottom once this is taped up like that. So I'm just going to center the top 3 sides and not worry about the rest. Yeah, I was saying that when I very first started paper crafting, that was with scrapbooking. And I don't even know if Stampin' Up! Was in Canada at that time. But we would just go to scrapbooking stores, and that was the thing that I loved to buy, was patterned paper. So now DSP is just one of my favorite things. All right, so I just have some tear and tape. I'm using tear and tape on these sides because that is a pocket, and you want the sides to be adhered really well so that when you're taking the card in and out, it's not going to just come apart on you. At least for me, I like to have something that is a really nice strong hold whenever there's kind of a folding mechanism there or a pocket. I like to make sure it's got a nice strong hold. So now that is closed and we have our little pocket there. All right, so now we can decorate the front. This piece of DSP is just going to go straight down. You could, if on your own, you could choose to attach it with dimensionals if you wanted to, but I have another layer that I will put on with dimensionals here. So this one I'm just gluing straight down, and there is kind of a bit of bulk to this project with all of these layers of folding DSP there. So if you were to mail this, you might not want too many layers of dimensionals on the front. So what do you guys think so far? I just love the pop of navy and red. I have always loved those colors together. Usually I'm blue and green, but I do love navy and red together. Okay, so this is our inside. You could always stamp a greeting if you wanted to, but I did not. I have just left that blank, but we're gonna put this together. So this is the second largest scalloped rectangle from the Scallop Contours dies. And then this is just a plain white piece that goes on the inside. This piece that I've cut here is 2 5/8 by a hair under 4 inches. And I'm just distressing the edges a little bit of this one. And then I'll glue it down to here. Do you guys feel like you have everything you need off that retiring list? Or is there still things that are taunting you? I still have things that are taunting me. The Queen Bee dies were one of them, but I missed them. They sold out and I did not get them. So it wasn't meant to be. And then now here, now that I've glued those together, there's a lot of little layers to open up here. Now that that is adhered together, I can glue this down to the inside of the card. Rhonda, I think you guys have the same, hi Ashley, stock as we do, I think. I know some of the other markets have different inventory than we do, but I think North America is all the same. Yeah, I love this too, Ashley. I think it's just so quick and easy, and you could blow through all kinds of DSP in a hurry doing something like this. All right, so now we just have to do these few layers on the front. I forgot to turn the sound off on something here. My apologies. So I'm gonna just put this aside for a second here. Now I need a scrap of navy and my stamp. So again, I have used that Simple Thank You from Timeless Arrangements. So this one here, I think this is going to be one that either rarely goes back in the case or the case just doesn't ever go back on the shelf. So I have my Versamark and I loaded everything up in this tray here with a spare Tombow in case this one bit the dust on me while we were here. Okay. And then I forgot to grab myself a scrap of Native Navy, so I just have to remedy that. There's lots of them out in the other room. All right. Here we go. The drawer is right beside me, so I have my scraps and hanging files in file drawers. There we go. So I try to use the Embossing Buddy, especially when working with dark colors and white powder. Now, This is Versamark. I want to make sure that I have enough ink on there that it will get a nice coating of powder, but there will definitely be a creative challenge for you guys to make one of these cards. If you think you'll try the creative challenge, which DSP of yours do you think you will use? Let me know. It was kind of breaking my heart to cut into Zoo Crew, I have to admit. I wasn't sure that I wanted to do it because on the back is of the black and white are little characters that it meant that I had to let go to waste. They're so cute, those little characters. I have also used, when brushing off the excess powder, I have also used my take your pick tool. What is the measurement on the red gift card pocket? This part here, Janet? If that is what you mean, let me know, and I will come back and explain that. He's the man with the camping paper. I wanted to make one with that, but that paper has sold out. So I would make one for myself, but to show you guys on the live, I was like, darn it, it would have been especially perfect with those little die cut elements. If you make one, Sandy, please come back and post it on the creative challenge. So now I'm just going to heat set this. I also wanted to do one with the motorcycle DSP, but I knew I just didn't have time to make a fifth one. Ryan ended up getting home, and so it was like, nope, we're already late. So yeah, my apologies. Thank you guys so much for joining still though. So that is embossed now. This is one of those dies from that Timeless Arrangements. I am going to tape this down and then just run it through my stamp cut and emboss machine. I will do that real quick just off camera, and then I will be right back. So while I'm cutting this, let me know what papers you guys would use. And Janet, let me know if this is what you mean about the gift card pocket. Out of here. I did this to you guys the other day too. I took a layer out of the cutting machine and needed to replace it in order to get it to actually cut. So I just need to put this back in. I took it out so that I could run that silicone sheet through, and it won't cut without all those layers. There we go. The new Daisy DSP, that would be a good use of that paper, actually. Some of the patterns I struggled with when I first got it, but I think that it would be a good way to use it. So Janet, I think what you're asking is what size is this gift card pocket? So that comes from scoring at 5 1/4 and 10 1/2, and then it folds up to make that pocket. So it's all just one 4x12 piece of DSP. Let me know if that makes sense. And if not, then I will try to explain again for you. All right, so now how I attached this was I put a couple of the black dimensionals, and you could use whatever color. I just had these ones handy because I had just finished up a sheet of white. And then I attached this, thank you, onto here. I'm trying to do this so that you guys can see, but that I can also attach it straight. So I have that. And then I will, this is just kind of a dry fit here. I'm just putting this here. I'm going to put some more dimensionals behind this. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry if I missed some comments there. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the bottom of the navy and a little bit of glue on the top of the, or the back of the white. There we go. I love this die. It's definitely going to be one that gets a lot of use. I think I need to do a class with the timeless arrangements. I can't see if this is straight, but my circle can still be moved. It's not attached yet. There we go. Now I can flip this over and use my tear and tape. So somebody was asking me the other day, where do you put your adhesive when you're using vellum? So I have this on the front. Now I can use this part as the disguise for my adhesive, so I can run a nice long piece behind whatever's on the front and then you won't see it. Now I'll also take my little glue dots and put a couple, actually my piercer right here, behind these leaves, and then that way we also won't see them up there. So we'll go maybe right here behind that stem. So then that way it'll hold it down in the upper half as well. And I'm kind of lining the bottom of the thank you up with the top of the pocket, or just a little bit above. I feel like that's a little bit crooked. I was telling you guys the other day, I'm having a horrible time getting things straight. That would make a really pretty background label for it. Would too. I just love this set of dies. You guys might get sick of seeing me use them. And then I have my, this is what I do. I go and set things down. I keep telling you guys that I put things down and I don't know where I put them. I hid my ribbon scissors underneath my, poor Ryan, he was cutting some ribbon originally for me yesterday. He was cutting twine and then he took my scissors to paper and I gasped from the other side of the room and it scared him. It was actually kind of funny the way he jumped. I felt bad, but we all started laughing. So I'm just going to tie a bow. Like, not the ribbon scissors, not on paper. Do you guys do the same? Ribbon scissors are only for ribbon. They are not for cardstock. It was funny. At least we couldn't help but laugh. Yes, we will have lots of DSP. And I'm like terrible. I'm not having trouble snipping this. I always have trouble resisting DSP when it's retiring too. So I did do a massive purge of DSP though. Yeah, that's right. You do not touch the ribbon scissors. Ashley, I've been trying to keep my glue dots on this adhesive holder so that at least those don't roll away on me, but there's only one roll on there right now and I use 2 different sizes. So there's my little white twine bow. That's going to go on with a little glue dot. It's a little bit too big. And I'll show you guys what embellishments I thought. I'm just tucking this into this little nook of this leaf here. I need to move it over just a little. I went a little too close to the greeting. There we go. So that's right there. Now I have some embellishments from the January to June catalog. That was what I had in mind. We'll see if they will end up working. I'm not sure. These are actually navy. They look black. These ones are retiring. They are the Enamel Dot Essentials. So we'll see if those will work. This is so nerve-wracking to decide where embellishments go while we're here. If it doesn't work, I'll use these white ones. I also love these. These are the opaque adhesive back gems. They are also retiring. The white ones alone are what are my favorite. But let's see if there's white ones in here. These white ones might be really nice. What do you guys think? I still feel like I might need to add the third little, I'll show you guys. What I've often been doing is this extra little leaf coordinates with these ones. So what I've often been doing is cutting an extra one and then tucking it in there. So it might still need that. I won't do it right now, but you guys can let me know what you think if it needs that extra. I'll bring that a little closer so that you can see it and imagine that it would have another white one cut there. So you guys think it needs that extra one too? Is it too naked in the middle there? Tell me what you think. Some people totally design on the fly, and that is so nerve-wracking for me. I have never done it. I have never designed, except for we did that this or that where you guys, we did the launch party and people guided me through this or that, but I gave them choices and I still had a project kind of designed, sort of like what Stampin' Up! Has done at events. I feel like those would work. So which do you guys think? You think it's a bling spot, another leaf or flower? I can't tell if these are vanilla or white, so let's just read what they are in the catalog. They are on page 37. See if it tells us what they are. It is white. They kind of look a little bit vanilla there, but let's see. This is like the hardest part for me too, is deciding where embellishments will go. So I might abandon ship and not put anything on here while you guys are here. But while I'm deciding on that, I will bring these other ones back in. I'll end up posting a picture of these. I haven't taken one yet this time. Usually I take it before the live, but I will take photos of these tomorrow when I have daylight. And when I post the photo of these cards, if you guys make a card using this style of card, then you can come back and post a photo of yours underneath the photo that I post of mine, and you will get entered in the creative challenge draw for this week. So hopefully you guys will come back and share a project. You will have until the end of the following week. So anything that is from this week, you'll have till the end of next week to post your creations. Anything from last week, you guys will have until the end of this week. So I think I'll glue dot this down a little. That's gonna go there. And I might even just stop at 2. And then I'll stick another little branch right there. So here's my triangular pattern of 3. Sorry, this is off camera. It's 1, 2, and then I'm treating my bow like the 3rd. So I'll put some of these on this next one here too. I love that these come in 3 different sizes. So those are the embellishments. I was originally thinking maybe I'd use the navy, but I didn't. But I could probably use the crumb cake on this one here, or something shiny. I haven't embellished any of them yet. So I will go in before I take the photo and I'll put embellishments on them. But I think the navy would blend in too much with this one, so I'll probably find something shimmery. Do you guys agree with that for this one? It's so dark already. And I'll probably come back in and put this on dimensionals, the thanks. But here's a recap. I'll just get this out of the way and I'll give you guys a recap of these Fancy Fold gift card holders. Thank you again to Lena for your inspiration. Now there's more than one Lena, so this is Lena Gersa, not the Lena that many of you know from BC. So again, we have this one needs something. I don't know if I'm settled on leaving this greeting in pool party. I might switch that. But shiny or white on the navy. Actually, yeah, you're right. White would look really pretty on there too. Maybe even, before I recap that, I might even use these ones here. I'll take them out of the package because you guys are probably getting glare. These ones are faceted, so they look really shiny. But those would probably be the answer for that one. Okay, so we have, I might switch out this color here, and then the little character there, and then all these adorable little guys on the inside. Then we have the, oh gosh, I can't remember, Hello Happy, I can't remember what this guy is called, but this is the stamp version, not the DSP. And then this, I have to still decorate the inside. And then we've got this one. And again, I still have to decorate the inside. I have one of these cut to go on the inside. This is what I'll put inside there, just like the one I used tonight. So that's going to go inside there. And then the one that we made together. So there we go. Hopefully that's something you guys will try. Again, if you feel like sharing, please do. If you do the creative challenge, then what I will actually do is send this card and I will, or no, this is the share challenge, sorry. So if you share this video, then whoever wins the draw for, based on you coming back and commenting that you shared, I will actually send either a Tim Hortons or Starbucks coffee gift card in it. So if you decide to share, come back and comment that you did, and then in a week we will do the draws, and whoever wins this particular one will get a coffee gift card along with the card this time. That's not something I usually do, but because it was a gift card holder and I had so much fun making these, I thought, well, that's what I'll do. I'll send a little extra gift along with that one. You'll just have to, whoever wins, let me know if Starbucks or Tim Hortons is your favorite. All right, so share away if you wish. Make sure you come back and do a creative challenge. And we are running short on time for In Color Club, so I will post a reminder of that as well for anyone who might be interested in doing that. And if there's any of the retiring products like the Linen DSP or the Sun Prince DSP or the Happy Forest Friends DSP that you would like before they are gone. Also, there's the Amazing Thanks dies that are leaving, the stitched rectangles that are leaving. I don't know that I used those on anything today. And there's other product that's coming up. So if you guys need any of those, let me know and I can add those to an order I have going in. All right, thank you guys so much for joining in, and we will craft together again soon. Good night.